Okay, for this next project, it's actually going to be a reminder slash key holder board. And you'll need a 16 by 20 inch piece of, this is about 1/4 inch, any kind of plywood would do, because we're going to paint this with chalkboard paint. Yeah, believe it or not, I didn't know it either. But they actually have chalkboard paint. And it goes on very well, so you can do it with a brush. And you're going to need a couple of 8-foot 1x4s. Once again, we're going with the chamfered look on the end. It's a better material for this kind of stuff because it creates that little spacing in between, and I really like using it. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is paint one side of this board. The stuff goes on really easy and it dries really well, but I'm going to paint this board first so that this can be drying while we're doing the rest of the construction. Okay, the next thing I did is I cut 6 1x4s 31 inches long. Okay, here's a trick to squaring up your project. Line up the bottom edge with the edge of this Pegasus table and line up the side edge with the side of the Pegasus table. The Pegasus table is square, so now your project is square. Once you get them where you want them, put your scrap lumber right here, grab these convenient clamps, which are also part of the Pegasus table, and just clamp them on there nice and tight, hold them in place, and that keeps your whole project square, so that when you get done, it looks like it was built by a professional. To mount the blackboard, I'm using 6 by 1 inch screws. They're very small screws, and I'll show you why that's important in a second. Okay, now this is one of the huge benefits of the Works AI drill. Set it on pulse mode, and with these small screws, since they're hard to get started, you watch the pulse mode just pull the screw straight down without any hesitation at all. Normally the screw would wiggle and wobble, pulls it right in, countersinks it right where it needs to be. I'm going to finish running these screws all the way around the perimeter here. Then I took this stock 1x2. Remember, we're not ripping anything. This is all stuff you can buy at the store. And what I did was I cut them to the full length of the board here from bottom to top, and then I measured the distance in between, and that's going to be the frame for the chalkboard. Okay, and here's the genius of the design. I got all those screws holding these boards together, and this trim goes right over the top of that, and it's going to cover all those screws so you don't even see them, and this trim is going to be screwed on from the back side so you won't see those either. Not bad. I gotta tell you, I really like how this chalkboard's coming together. Check it out. Chalkboard centered a little bit high there to make room for the shelf, and as you see on the shelf here, you have a little bit of an angled bracket here, and I'm going to show you how to cut that. It might be looking a little complicated right now, but it's really not. I took a piece of scrap 1x4, and I just put it about the height of where I wanted the shelf, and then I kind of just marked it there. Then I take that piece of scrap, and I clamp it down in the Pegasus workbench, hold it in there really strong and tight. Just mark that line. I'm not going to cut yet, and I'll show you why. Then staying within that marked area, just go from corner to corner, and once again, mark it again. Well, then I take the saw, and this is important. I cut this one before I cut this one because obviously I want this to hold my piece of wood in place. So I just start my cut. Okay, and once I finish that cut, then I just take this line and I go straight across to finish cutting my second triangle. And that's it. Now you've got your 2 brackets for your shelf. Drive in 2 or 3 screws from the back here to hold the shelf in place. Here's those brackets we cut earlier, and I'm going to use those 6 by 1 inch screws for the back of these because I don't want to split these, and this is where the pulse setting really comes in handy. Here's the small 1 inch screw I was talking about, and I'll start it at the bottom here and drive it straight up. And that worked out perfect. I was able to use a small screw, put the AI drill on pulse setting, drove it right up in there, and didn't split it at all. And there you have it, 2 key holder chalkboards, 1 white, 1 all natural. You decide how you want them. Literally there's like 13 or 14 cuts, all from stock lumber. Easy to make. If I can do it, you can do it. See you next time in the shop.